Hi, good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? Okay, I see very excited people today in Zoom. All right. So some of you may know me, okay, and some of you may not know me. So let me introduce myself. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kriya, and I will be doing the BizTalk session for today. All right. So I hope all of y'all are doing well. Now, please keep your camera on, guys, so that I know who I am speaking with. Okay, don't be shy, yeah? So now, it's already 5:05, okay, and we will start now. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? Now, before we start, let me explain. Let me do the session first, okay? So let me finish the topic and then I will open the Zoom floor for questions. So if you have any questions, guys, save it, all right? Save it, and then later we will discuss about it, okay? All right, so today we are going to talk about body language, okay? Body language, the importance of it, and also communication skills, all right? Okay, so now what is body language and why is it important? I believe that most of y'all here are already working adults, okay? So when we are working, that we are attached to a company, right? Okay, or we are working on our own, we are having our own business and so on. Now, in order for you or in your own business, now body language and communication is very, very important. All right. Now, let me tell you why. Body language, okay, is a form of communication by itself. Okay, it's a form of communication by itself. So what do I mean by this? Even if I do not speak to you, okay, now we are in Zoom. All right, so if I want to communicate with you, then I don't have a choice. I have to speak to you, then only you can understand me. But what if I'm in front of you? Okay, I'm in person, I'm in front of you, and I do not speak. Okay, let's assume I'm standing in front of you for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, and maybe you're observing me. All right, you can probably sense, okay, you can probably sense what I am thinking or how I am feeling, okay, or what is going on in my mind just by looking at me. So that is the power of body language. All right, it will boost confidence. It will show whether you're confident or not. All right, so in your workplace, guys, if you do not show confidence, how is your manager, your supervisor, your employer going to trust that you will be able to do your job well? So this is part of the importance of body language. Okay, so that is what we are going to see today. All right, Mr. Govin, can you help me play the slides, please? Okay, so let me tell you guys now. Yeah, all right. I've already explained to you what is body language, okay? So body language actually comes in different forms, okay? Different forms in terms of facial expression, okay? Like now, if you look at me, all right, you will feel that I have a form of energy to talk to you. So that is the facial expression. So maybe if I see here, let's see who's here. Uh, Miss Maria. Okay, so Miss Maria seems to be walking. Okay, so her body expression, her facial expression is a bit different. All right, Miss Jennifer is wearing her earphones and then she's trying to concentrate. So her expression is a bit different. So how do I know this? By just looking at their face. This is a form of facial expression. Okay, so through facial expression, you can actually let other people know how you are feeling. Okay, so that is body language. Okay, now even animals, yeah, okay, guys, even animals have body language. All right, but then I am not an animal expert, so let's not go there, okay? Let's talk about humans alone today, all right? Okay, what other forms of body language do we have? Gestures, okay? When I say gestures, what does that mean? Gestures is like, using your hands. When you see people in TED Talks, you all know what is TED Talk, right? Okay, have you all ever watched a TED Talk before? So if you see TED Talk, okay, sorry, wrong spelling, TED Talks. Okay, so if you actually watch TED Talks, you will see that, the speakers will actually be slowly walking on the stage. They will wear a microphone. They will slowly be walking on the stage. All right. And then they will have hand gestures. They will move their hand. Okay, now that I can't do it here because I'm in Zoom, my screen is very small. But let's assume I'm in front of you, okay, and then I'm talking. So there will be some hand movement, right? Okay, now you imagine this, okay? You are at school. Maybe you are a secondary school student, okay? And then your teacher is teaching you. They find out that maybe one of the students are not paying attention, okay? So your teacher will be angry, right? Your teacher will be angry. How will you know that your teacher is angry? Through facial expression and through their hand gestures as well, okay? So what I want to let you know is everything that we do, every movement that we do, it actually holds a certain energy. It actually holds a certain power. Okay. And if we want to succeed, okay, we must know how to use it for our benefit. All right. We must know how to use it for our benefit. Okay. All right. So what other forms of body language do we have? Posture. Okay, posture is what we are going to talk about the first thing later. Posture is how we sit, how we stand. Okay, simple. It's keeping your backbone in a proper position. That is posture. Okay, I'll explain to you later. Don't worry. Okay, we will go in it in a bit more detail later. All right. Okay, and then another important aspect of body language: eye contact. Eye contact. Okay, eye contact. Now, through eye contact, there are a lot of things that you can actually decipher. All right. Now, have you ever realized that sometimes, okay, when people actually have issues, okay, when I say issues, we are talking about emotional issues, mental issues, okay, and then they go and visit a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a counselor for that matter. So how do you think a counselor, a psychologist, or a psychiatrist will be able to help? Okay, number one, they will first analyze the patient. Okay, we'll call the person a patient. All right, the patient's body language, how their facial expression is, how their body, their hand gestures work, how their posture is, how are they sitting down, how their eye contact is. Are they concentrating or are they not concentrating? Okay, so these are the things. All right. And another form of body language is proxemics. Okay, what is proxemics? Anybody know what is proxemics? Okay, never mind. We will go to that later. All right. Okay, so I believe now y'all are more or less, y'all understand what body language is, right? Okay, so now let's move on to the next slide, please. Mr. Govind, help me move. Okay, so number one, all right, guys, we are going to talk about body posture. Okay, body posture. Now, body posture, as I said just now, is how we sit and how we stand. Okay, so have you ever noticed that people who are very successful, okay, people who are very successful, maybe let's talk about celebrities, all right, or politicians, okay, or business people, okay, really very famous business people. Have you ever noticed that they always have good body posture? Have you noticed this or not? Okay, they always stand straight. They stand straight, they don't hunch. Okay, this is because they always want to appear confident. All right, they always want to appear confident. So because of this, okay, because of this, they always make sure that their body posture is good. All right, so how does it work? Standing tall. Okay, it's actually a very critical element, you know. Okay, it's a very critical element. It will actually show how confident you are with yourself. All right, people who are very confident with themselves, they always have very good posture. All right, and notice the opposite. People who are not very successful, you know, sometimes you see lazy people, right? Okay, lazy people who always like to slouch on the sofa. All right, or they are just lying around all day using their phones, playing game. They're not really doing anything. Okay, they are always not in a straight position when you sit or when you stand. Okay, so that is body posture. Now, what is the importance? Number one, visual impact. Okay, visual impact means when you stand tall, all right, you actually project an image. Number one, I told you, confidence. Number two, self-assurance. Okay, and why this is important? Because this is usually the first impression that people get about you. Okay, so when you see someone and then they stand tall, they stand confident, you actually have a very good impression on them, the first impression. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, first impression is actually very important. Okay, now let's say you're going for a client meeting, you want to close a big deal, $1 million deal, and then your body posture is not good. Something as simple as that, you know, slouching. When I say slouching, what does that mean? You are sitting on a chair, right? Okay, you're sitting on a chair, but instead of sitting straight, which means I can't show you, but your backbone, okay, your backbone, instead of it being straight, okay, you are like maybe just going, go down like this. Okay, so there's a hunch. There's a hunch at your back. So do you think you're going to look confident? So how is the other party going to trust you and going to sign a huge deal with you when you yourself do not appear confident? Okay, so this is very important, right? How are you going to do it? Okay, very simple. Number one, stand tall, okay, which means stand straight. Your backbone must be straight, okay? But it cannot be a very rigid straight like how the soldiers stand. It's not like that, yeah? Okay, even though you stand straight, your shoulders, all right, your shoulders have to be relaxed. Okay, your shoulders have to be relaxed and you sit straight or you stand straight. All right, so that is how you have to maintain a good body posture. Keep your back straight, keep your shoulders to the back and your head. Okay, don't look down, guys, don't look down. All right, now I want to talk to you. Imagine if I'm not looking into the camera, or I'm looking elsewhere. That means I'm not confident about myself. Okay, or you will feel that I'm you are not important for me. All right, I'm talking here, but my concentration is not with you. So make sure, okay, you must have your head up. Okay, when I say the head up, it's not totally too much to the top, but it must be a 90-degree. Okay, like this. You measure this part. Okay, your jaw, your neck, right? It must be 90 degrees. So that is a good body posture. All right. Okay. Now let's talk a bit more about body posture. Okay. Apart from that, yeah. Okay. Having good body posture also shows that you have a form of authority. Okay. You have a form of authority. So in a business line, let's talk about the corporate world. Okay. When you are in a higher position, okay, maybe you're a manager, maybe you're a CEO, okay? So when you have people, subordinates, okay, who work for you, you have to appear that you hold a certain form of authority. Only then people will respect you, people will listen to you, people will perceive you as their leader. Okay, so it's not just the skills that you have. all right? You may have the skill, but if you cannot express it, okay, in a form of your proper body language, so how are they going to actually know that you will be able to do it, right? Okay, so authority. And then, of course, confidence, as what I told you. Okay, now, another thing, good body language always shows that you are attentive, okay? You are engaged to the person, all right? Now, let's say you're going out on a date, all right? You're going out on a date. And then you are not concentrating, okay? Your future partner maybe is sitting opposite you, all right? But because maybe, you know, your body posture, okay, is not very confident, the other person may not understand that you actually are engaged with them. Okay, so this is also why body language is important. Body posture is important, all right? It also shows a certain form of respect. All right, it shows a certain form of respect. When we see news, okay, when we see news, then you see two prime ministers meeting each other. We always see this kind of news, right? So you always notice that both of them will actually have good body posture. They stand straight and then they shake their hands firmly. Okay, it's actually a form of respect as well. All right, and indirectly, what happens when you are very concerned about your body posture? What happens? What comes with it? Indirectly, you will be very active in listening as well, which means, okay, if say now compared to someone who has bad body posture, the person who has better body posture will definitely be a better listener. They concentrate more and they listen more. They listen better. Okay, so that is an indirect benefit of good body posture. Okay, all right. Okay, so next we are going to talk about open stance. Okay, open stance. Now, what is open stance? Open stance is how you keep your hands and your legs when you are sitting. Okay, avoid crossing your arms or your legs as these may seem defensive. Keep an open stance to appear approachable. So what does this mean? Okay, open stance basically means, okay, how you keep your hands and your legs actually perceive how you are open to inviting information to yourself. Okay, now this may seem a bit, maybe it's a bit funny, okay, when I say, all right, but it actually plays a very important it's actually very important. What do I say? What do I mean here? Now, when you keep your hands closed, okay, when your hands are folded, all right, and somebody is talking to you, okay, you will only be able to receive 50% of the information that they are giving you. Okay, let's say for example you are in a college lecture, okay, your lecturer is giving you she's teaching you, okay, and your hands are actually kept folded, okay, folded. So you know how hands are kept folded, right? When your hands are actually folded, you only receive about 40 to 50% of the information that your lecturer is trying to give you. Okay, and the same way for your legs as well. When your legs are crossed, okay, the amount of information that you receive is much lesser. Try this for yourself, okay? Take it as an experiment, guys, and try it for yourself. Okay, keep your hands closed, I mean like crossed, and then see how it works. And then also keep your hands open. When I say open, just leave it, okay? Leave your hands open and see how you receive information. Okay, now another thing is when your hands and legs are actually crossed, it will deem as you are defensive. Okay, you are not approachable. You are not approachable. Okay, so try to actually keep your hands and your legs straight, whether you are sitting, okay, yeah, I mean hands and legs crossed whether you're standing as well. When your hands are crossed, you seem a bit defensive or you seem a bit withdrawn. Okay, so try to avoid this. Okay. Okay, so now let's move on, guys. Govin, you go to the slide that says maintain eye contact. Yes, correct. Okay. Maintaining eye contact. Now, maintaining eye contact is also another very, very, very important aspect in terms of body language. Now, let me tell you why. Okay, let me tell you why. There are a lot of examples for this, all right? But, okay, the most important thing is, number one, okay, when you are talking to someone and you do not have eye contact with them, okay, number one, you will look that you are not interested. You will look withdrawn. When I say withdrawn, that means you are there in body, but in spirit, you are not there. All right, that is what I mean. And if you are not maintaining good eye contact in your workplace, or maybe if you're going for an interview, and let's assume that is your first impression, then that's going to be really, really difficult for you. Okay, so make sure that you maintain good eye contact. Okay, so how do you do this? Number one, okay, when you talk to someone, their eye level and your eye level must be at the same level. Okay, it must be at the same level. So say for example, who's here? Miss Marites Rotugal. Okay, so I'm talking to her. And when I'm talking to her, all right, I am actually standing and she is actually sitting down. Okay, so that means our eye is not at the same level. It is not at the same level. All right. So when that happens, okay, then that is not good eye contact. Okay, that's not good eye contact. So my suggestion is if you are standing, or if the other party is standing, then you have to stand as well. Okay. If the other party is sitting down, then you have to be seated as well. All right. Now, if you're going for an interview, okay, a job interview. Let's take a job interview, for example, all right? So you're walking in and then the first thing that the interviewer will do is shake your hands and then they will tell you to have a seat. So why do they do that? Why? It's because they want to have good eye contact with you, and through that eye contact itself, they will be able to know whether you are confident or not. Okay, so it's actually a form of building a connection as well. All right, it actually helps you to build an emotional connection with the person that you are speaking with. Okay, when you have good eye contact, it shows that you are actually genuinely interested in them, and you want to listen to what they have to say. All right, have you noticed that when people speak to children, children are much shorter than us, right? Okay. So when we speak to children, okay, there are two ways that usually people speak to them. Number one, they just stand and then they look at the child who is much smaller than them, and then they speak to them. Or number two, the adult will squat down, okay, up to the child's eye level and then speak to them. Okay, now when you want to talk to a child and then you actually go down, okay, and then you maintain the same eye level with the child, all right, the child will actually feel that you are a safe person that they can have a talk with, compared to someone who is standing and talking to them. Okay, trust me on this. Maybe if you have kids, you can go and try. All right, when you stand and talk, it's actually like an instruction to them. Okay, don't do this. Maybe you're saying they are naughty, all right? Maybe your child or your grandchild, don't do this. When you say something like that, and then you're standing, and then you are saying that, then the way they perceive it is different. But when you are seated, okay, I'm not saying seated, but maintaining a same level of eye contact with them, all right, and then you say, no, don't do this, that is a different thing. Okay, and also, of course, your tone, your voice. Now we'll go to the voice part later. All right, so we'll speak about eye contact first. So when you want to build a certain trust with children, okay, then it is a better way if you maintain eye level at the same length with them, the same height with them. All right. It also shows that you are more honest, you are more sincere towards the children. So they feel safer around you. All right. It builds their trust, their credibility. And of course, when all this happens, then your communication with them becomes more effective as well. Sometimes, right, when we deal with children, they are a bit difficult for us to understand because they cannot express themselves like how adults do. Okay, they cannot. So how are you going to actually understand? Maybe your child is going through a hard time at school and they do not know how to come and talk to you about it. Okay, so when that happens, they want to tell you, but they don't know how to do it. How are you going to handle the situation? As a parent, of course, it's going to be difficult, right? It is going to be difficult for you. So try this method, okay? And then build the confidence, build the trust, okay? And then you see whether there is a difference or not. Okay, and also active listening. It shows that you are always engaged, okay, and you are concentrating in the conversation with them. All right, it also means, okay, it's also a form of respect. You see, just now I told you guys, all right, body language, okay, is a form of respect. So when you have good engagement with the person that you are speaking with, that means there is a form of respect there as well. Okay, you're valuing their time, you're valuing what they speak to you, so you are ready to listen to them. I mean, isn't that what somebody wants when you talk to them, right? Okay, it also enhances your communication, right? How? Now, verbally, I'm speaking to you. Okay, I'm speaking to you. So this is verbal communication. But today we are talking about body language. All right. So body language is a form of non-verbal cue. It's a non-verbal cue. So how is the other person going to understand emotions and feelings? Okay, by just listening to your voice. They cannot. Okay. Now, when somebody talks, it's only about 60 to 70%, okay, of communication. The balance will come from body language. And it's not just one form of body language, okay? It's actually a few. That means a combination of the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you move your hands, okay? And also your eye contact. All right, so it will allow you to pick up on this kind of non-verbal cue, okay, your facial expression, body language, okay, and then you can understand the other person's emotions even better. Okay, all right, why is this important? Now, just now I gave you the example of talking to a child. All right, so now maybe it's not just for parents, okay, it's also for educators. Maybe you like to be a teacher, or you are a doctor, you are a nurse, you are in the medical line, speaking to your patient. All this will help as well. Okay, now what if you are a professional speaker? Okay, you are a professional speaker, you are a public speaker. So what will happen? You can actually, okay, by looking at the body language and having good eye contact with the person that you are communicating with, it is almost an immediate feedback that you are getting. Okay, so now, okay, like for example, I am talking here and then I would like to maintain eye contact with all of y'all. So I can see all your faces, right? Okay, so maybe I see somebody's face here. Okay, maybe Mr. Zianis. All right, I'm looking at him. So he's having this facial expression. He's looking like this from just now. Yes, all right. So I can feel that he's concentrating. He's trying to understand what I'm saying. So how did I do it? I just have good eye contact. You see, in Zoom, all right, it's difficult because I don't see you in person. But still, even though it's difficult, it's possible. All right, it's very possible. Okay, so this is why eye contact is very, very important. Okay. Okay, so next we are going to talk about, still eye contact, but avoid staring. Okay, avoid staring. Now, while eye contact is important, avoid staring as it can make the other person uncomfortable. Okay, yes, this is very, very true. Okay, this is very true. Why do I say it's very true? Imagine you're talking to someone, okay, you're talking to someone, and then they don't blink their eye, and then they keep staring at you. Okay, they keep staring at you. So how is it going to work? Okay, they don't blink. You know, it's just like, imagine somebody who's very firm, okay, and then they're just looking like this, not even smiling. Okay, giving you the fierce stare. So how is that going to, you know, give you a form of comfort or confidence? How are you going to open up to them? All right, so this is why you should avoid staring. Okay, now how do you usually avoid staring? You can maybe use a 50-70 rule. Okay, there is a rule that we call the 50-70 rule. So what is the 50-70 rule? Maintaining eye contact about 50%, okay, when you are speaking, and then another 70% when you are listening. Now, that means, okay, yes, eye contact is necessary and it's important, but you must also know how to use it, okay? It's not 100% just looking at the person and staring, no, okay? You must make sure that the other party is comfortable. Okay, the other party is comfortable. You can actually shift your eyes, okay, to another, to looking at something else. I mean, that is normal, right? You will have a form of environment around you, okay? So that is normal, all right? It is normal. But you know, you cannot be looking distracted. Okay, you can't be distracted. All right, so maybe every minute, after a few minutes, okay, just look around for a few seconds so that it doesn't look like you are staring at them. Okay, now I would like to also tell you that you have to be mindful of cultural differences. Okay, so when I say cultural differences, you know, sometimes in terms of eye contact, okay, it may seem disrespectful. Okay, it may seem disrespectful in certain cultures when you have direct eye contact with them. So if you're traveling, okay, you like to travel, and then you know, okay, you're going to a new place, and maybe you're not very familiar, then do learn their culture as well. Okay, so how do they perceive body language? How do they perceive eye contact? All right, and then, you know, uh, you can actually use it accordingly. Okay, all right, so that is about staring. Okay, staring. When you are having eye contact, do not forget your listening has to be active as well. Okay, your listening has to be active as well. So it's not just maintaining good eye contact, but you have to focus on listening to the other person as well. All right, so this is all things that will help you stay engaged. Okay, help you stay engaged. Okay. Going, can you move to the next slide, please? Okay, smile. Okay, smile. Smile is actually very simple. Okay, even if I don't explain to you a lot, you will understand what a smile is. Okay, now number one, a smile is actually very welcoming. Okay, and a very warm body gesture. When you smile at someone, okay, it actually shows that you are a very welcoming person. That's number one. And also, you are someone who is open to build an emotional connection. Okay, an emotional connection. So smile is actually You know why they say smile is contagious? You know, have you heard about this phrase? Smile is contagious. It's because when you smile, you automatically lift up the mood. Okay, you lift up the mood in the space that you are in. All right, it can be a very dull situation where it is, and then suddenly somebody who's very cheerful, they walk in and then they smile. It's actually a very warm and welcoming body gesture. Okay, you know, sometimes some people are a bit reserved. Okay, we call them introverts, right? So they don't want to open up and things like that. Okay, but when somebody who is a bit more cheerful, okay, they walk in and then they smile, they laugh, they talk, it is the whole environment becomes a bit lighter. Okay, it becomes a bit lighter. So when it becomes a bit lighter, okay, and then people are more relaxed, they are more open, okay, to talking. All right, so the relationship between two people can actually become better just by a simple smile. Okay, if you want to build business relationships or people relationships, just normal people relationships, maybe you, okay, let's assume we are having a retail store, okay, a retail store, and then your customers walk in. Obviously you want them to come back to your shop, right, to shop. That is what good business is all about. But what if somebody who's sitting in the counter is a very gloomy, moody, grumpy person who doesn't smile, who doesn't talk, okay, and then they just come, the customers come, and then there's no relationship built, okay, between the shop owner and the customer. So why would the customer want to come back to the shop again, right? So if the person, okay, if the shop owner is a very happy, is a person who is smiling, who is always willing to help, of course customers are more prone to come back again and again. Okay, it is a form of good customer service as well. All right, because sometimes, okay, maybe we may not be able to offer the best product. Okay, now let's look at it in a business point of view. We may not be able to offer the best product, but if we understand emotions, if we understand body language, if we understand how people react to body language, even though we may not have the best product or our product may not be at the best price, but because of this, we actually have the best service. Service is very important. Best customer service. Of course, your customers will want to come back to you because a product, okay, a product doesn't end just when there is a sale. There is always after sale. If you are buying a house, if you're buying a car, anything, even a simple product, if you're buying a handphone, right? You always need after sales service. Okay, so there's always value. All right, and it can start, good value can start from something as simple as smiling. Okay, so if you think you are not smiling enough, maybe it's time for you to start smiling now. All right, smile everybody, smile. Nice, good. All right, so do that. Okay, do that. And yeah, of course, when you smile, right, automatically you are happier, you're much happier. All right, so the approach to everything else is, it becomes very positive. Okay, even if you're having a hard day at work, all right, and then your colleague is smiling and talking very cheerful, you don't really feel the hardship, okay, and then you can actually go through the day in a much lighter manner, and then you eventually feel much better about yourself, the people around you, and when you're happier, okay, you're maybe, even though it's a hard day at work, when you're happier at work, you go home happily, right? And then you can spread the happiness to your family. So maybe this is why people say smile is actually contagious. Okay, all right. So next we are going to talk about match your expression to your message. Okay, what does this mean? Match your expression to your message. Ensure that your facial expressions align with what you are saying. Okay, for example, when you are talking something serious, then you don't be smiling. Okay, sometimes it's not all about seriousness with a smile. Okay, it's not that way. Sometimes some things can be a little hard. Okay, maybe there might be difficult situations. So be emotionally alert to understand whether it's right or not. Okay, so you look serious when discussing important matters. Look enthusiastic when you're talking about exciting topics. When you are maybe bringing a sad news to someone, okay, so don't go with a happy face. When people see you with a happy face, maybe sometimes we do face we do have sad news, right? Okay, maybe you have to bring a sad news to a friend or a family. So don't go happy, because I'm not saying don't go happy, but then what I said just now, having the smile is not really going to help. Okay, so that is what they mean by matching your expression with your face. Okay, now it's not just that, all right? It's also like knowing how to behave. Okay, knowing how to behave in different situations. If you are being in a professional environment, okay? Maybe you're having a meeting with your boss, so you can't be all chitty chatty and then laughing and making jokes. It's not going to work, okay? But if you're with your friends, and then you can't be very professional, rigid, not being able to mingle around. No, it's not like that. So you have to match it, okay? Okay. Mr. Govin, can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, hand gestures. All right. Okay, so next we are going to talk about hand gestures. Okay, so hand gestures can help emphasize points and make your communication more dynamic. Okay, now before we move to hand gestures, right now, let me, I would like to ask you, have you, maybe the older people, okay, I'm not sure about the younger ones. Now I'm about 38, I'm about 38 to 40 years old now. All right, so okay, I'm 38 years old. I'm not 38 to 40. I'm 38 years old. So people my age, okay. When I was young, when I was much smaller, okay, during my primary school days, we used to have this show. I'm a Malaysian, by the way, okay. So I believe that all of you all are from different countries. So I'm not sure. But in Malaysia, okay, we had this British TV program, Mr. Bean. You all heard of Mr. Bean before? Have you all watched Mr. Bean before? Yes, no, yes, right? Miss Noella is saying yes. Okay, so she's probably my age. Miss Mary Low, yes. Okay, how about Kewal Singh? Have you watched Mr. Bean before? Nasrullah has watched Mr. Bean. Okay, so why am I bringing Mr. Bean up today? Why are we talking about him? Okay, have you all realized that Mr. Bean, okay, when we watch his programs, right, he has never actually spoken. There's no speech. Okay, but yet we all enjoyed his show a lot, really a lot, right? Okay, it was such a fun, exciting show for us to watch. Okay, especially that time when we didn't have internet, right? I would look forward to 9 p.m. I think it was 9 p.m. on a Wednesday when I was in primary school. Okay, I'm any Malaysians here? Then if you're Malaysian, okay, then you will know what I'm talking about. We had a few TV channels, okay, and then Mr. Bean was one program that we had. I can't remember it was 9 p.m. or 9:30 though, okay, but yes, that is something that we always look forward to. All right, so why? It's because, okay, the whole program, Mr. Bean program, was running just based on his body language. Okay? He didn't speak. Did you all realize that? He never spoke, right? So it was actually very silent, okay? And then they just have this recorded laugh at the back. Okay, Mr. Bean and his Teddy. So how? How did we laugh? How did we enjoy the show? And how did Mr. Bean actually become a very successful program by him not speaking? It's because he used his body language, his hand movements. Okay, the way he moved his hands were the most important aspect in Mr. Bean. All right, his hands, his face, he has this face that he'll always do this, right? Okay, his face, the way he walks, all right, the way he drives his car and everything. But he never spoke, yeah, he never spoke. Okay, so do you see how important body language is now? All right, there was a TV show that almost all around the world that was really, really successful, okay, which was Mr. Bean. And there was absolute 99%, okay, no speech. And he even had a girlfriend, right? He even had a girlfriend, and then there was a relationship, okay? And yet, okay, both of them didn't speak anything, but still we could understand. Okay, the girlfriend was happy, the girlfriend was angry, and then there was this particular episode, okay, where she will ask him for a ring, right? If I'm not mistaken, it was a ring, okay, and then he will buy the hook, the frame hook for her, right? And then she will become upset. So how did we realize that she was upset? Okay, or he did the wrong thing, he bought the wrong thing? It is all through body language. Okay, so why did I bring this up now? Because it's important. Now you know how important body language is. Or, okay, even last time, okay, there was this black and white comedy show that were also, okay, he didn't speak. I mean, yeah, I didn't watch it though, but yes, maybe I would have watched snippets of it, all right? He didn't speak at all. So how did people watch it? And, how were they entertained? It's through body language. Okay, so if you think your body language is not good, okay, if you think your body language is not good, then you can learn, you can start learning. All right, okay, so now let's move back to hand gestures. Okay, so hand gestures can help emphasize points and make your communication more dynamic. Okay, so hand gestures that I told you just now, okay, it's basically moving your hands. Like for example, in TED Talks, all right, or TED Talk is just one example. But there are so many other things, okay, or other ways that you can see hand gestures. Any public speakers, or when they read news readers, they usually news readers, they don't move their hands a lot, okay, but they have a lot of facial expression. Their hand gestures is minimal. Okay, so hand gestures can actually be used for a lot of things, okay? To emphasize on clarity. What is clarity? Clarity is making something clear, okay? When you want to say something very clear, or when you want to portray that you are really, really firm in saying something, what do we usually do? Okay, or maybe let's talk about parents here, the mothers and the fathers. Okay, you want to tell your child something, then you want to make sure that your child listens to you. So how do you use your hand and make sure that they listen? Any idea? Okay, you will usually, all right, usually use your index finger. You better listen to me. Better listen to me, all right? That is how you do it, right? So that is a form of hand gesture. That is a form of hand gesture, okay? So by just even showing your, how do you think, okay, a small child will know that by showing index finger, okay, your index finger, it is actually a firm message passed. I mean, when they were born, if we go and tell them, okay, you see, when you see an adult, they don't show you the index finger, that means they are not firm with you. No, right? So how do we expect that? How do we expect that to happen? This is all actually like, I wouldn't say psychologically, okay? People just know, okay, this is how it works. So body language, that is how it works. And hand gestures, that is how it works, all right? when you are going for an interview, okay, or maybe you are giving a public speech, all right, public speech. Let's not talk about interview. We'll talk about public speech. So you are on a stage, all right, you're on a stage. You're super nervous, really, really, really super duper nervous. Okay, so because you're nervous, okay, you can feel your hands are shivering. Okay, you know, have you all experienced this? Your hands shivering, you know? I have. I have gone up to the stage with, 1,000 people in front of me, but that was a long time ago. Okay, I wasn't prepared anyway. Yeah, you're not prepared. Okay, and then you go there, and then your hands start shivering. Okay, and then when you're moving your hands, okay, you feel, oh my God, when am I going to finish this? Right? Okay, so when you go onto the stage, when you're a bit more confident, all right, usually for beginners, what they will do is, because okay, your hand gestures can actually show that you are confident or not. Those who are beginning to speak in public, especially on stage, they will carry a notepad. Okay, they will hold some notes in one hand. Why? Because when you have a certain grip, okay, when you have a certain grip, you will be a bit more confident. Okay, so one hand, maybe they hold the mic, and the other hand, they will hold a pack of notes, okay, or a small notebook, or even a pen, okay? But usually they write little notes and then they hold it. Why? Because they haven't built the confidence yet. Okay, but when you see people who are already experienced in talking in public, okay, then they can just go offhand, and then you will see their hand movement. Okay, a lot of hand movements, and they will know how to time it. Okay, they will know how to time it. They don't move it too much, they don't move it too little, so they know exactly how to appear confident, even though maybe they are nervous. Okay, maybe they are anxious, but the audience will not know. It's because they know how to use their hands as a method of communication, their hand gestures. Okay, and also, okay, it can add a form of emotion. Hand gestures hold emotion. Hand gestures also have a tone. Okay, when somebody is very angry, always the hand moves very fast, right? They move very fast. But when somebody is much calmer, okay, maybe it's time, right? After this, maybe y'all can go and start observing people. Maybe after this talk, all right, y'all can go and start observing people. So go and observe, how are people moving their hands? How are people having eye contact? How are people sitting? How are people standing? Do they have good posture? Okay, and then you will see. But now, okay, hand gesture. Okay, when they are moving their hands very fast, number one, either they are angry, okay, or they are upset, or there is a form of anxiety. Anxiety means it's like, you don't know what's going to happen. Okay, there's a form of uncertainty. All right, maybe you're waiting for your exam results to be out. Okay, you've just completed your O levels or something, and then O levels, A levels, whatever. Okay, and then you're waiting for your exam results to be out, your public exam, and then you're anxious. Okay, so then your hand gesture will be a bit different. Okay, but what if, okay, you are in a happy environment? Okay, you are with your family, you are out, maybe you're going on a holiday, then you will notice that your hand gesture is much more calmer. You don't really move your hands so much. So all of this will actually portray what kind of emotions you are having. Okay, so just by moving hands, okay, it can show that you have a certain tone, you have a certain emotion to add on in your body language. Okay, so the speed, the intensity, the shape, okay, of your hand gesture has to match the tone of the message that you want to deliver. All right, if you're very aware of your body language, then you will know how to use this. The pace, how fast to move your hands or when to move your hands and things like that. If you are not, if you're still new, then maybe it'll take a bit of time, but of course, over you by practicing, you will definitely become better. Okay, and of course, when you're in a more gentle environment, okay, in a more gentle space, maybe, you are going out for a party or something like that, your hand movement will be more gentle, all right? More pronounced, okay, and things like that. And also when you are listening, okay, engaging with your audience, okay, then there will be inviting gestures as well. That means when people see your hand gestures, they will know whether they are inviting you to listen to them or not. Okay, so now this one, I have to connect this back to what I initially said in the beginning. All right, remember I talked about your hands being folded. Okay, so hands being folded is actually not a very good hand gesture. Okay, it's negative. All right, but when I say negative, not negative in a bad form, but negative in the sense that we will appear as not confident. We will appear as we are not inviting. Okay, we are not inviting. We will appear like we are not willing and we are not ready to listen to the other party. Okay, so when your hands are more open, okay, you're meeting your friends, for example, hey, hi, how are you? That kind of energy. Or, when you have the same tone of voice, hey, hi, how are you, with your hands crossed, it's two different things. Okay, so that is hand gesture for inviting. And also mirroring. What is mirror? Okay, mirror is basically you look at yourself in the mirror, right? So now instead of a mirror, you look at the other party in front of you. You mirror them. Mirroring them basically means, okay, you are noticing their hand gesture to see what they feel about talking to you, or spending some time with you to discuss something. All right, so open palms mean inviting. Okay, when your palms are actually open, it means that it is an inviting movement. Hi, welcome, come in, that kind of thing. But when it's gripped, okay, when your palms are gripped, when it's closed, it is not a very inviting hand gesture. Okay, and when you want to build a rapport with your audience, then you must have an inviting gesture. Okay, now hand gesture is a bit tricky, okay, because as I said, you need to know how to use it properly. All right, you need to know how to use it properly. Some people might overuse it. Okay, some people might overuse it. So make sure you don't overuse your hand gesture. Okay, now a good way, okay, is practice. You practice your hand gesture and you get feedback. If you want to be a good speaker, okay, if you want to be a good speaker, maybe you want to speak to clients or you want to be a good teacher, all right, and so on, then of course you need to practice your hand gesture. Okay, practice. So practice, maybe you can record yourself in your phone, okay? And then you look at how you use your hands. Then you yourself will be able to see where you're making a mistake or how to use it. Then you can improve from there. Or just simply ask somebody to look at you lah, okay? And then, get them to give you a feedback or something like that, all right? Okay, solicit feedbacks, okay, from your friends, from your family, okay, and then from mentors. So then you can refine yourself, okay? Actually, right, hand gestures reflect a lot about personality, okay? It reflects a lot about your personality and your style as well. Some people like to keep their hands in their pockets, all right? So it is stylish for some, okay? But it is a way of hiding nervousness for some, all right? And it's a form of, it can show lah whether you are genuine, whether you're authentic or not, all right? Okay. So next we will talk about being natural. Okay, being natural. Avoid over-exaggerated movements. Your gestures should complement your words and not being distracted from them. Okay, so this one I think I've already explained. Okay, so don't don't overuse it until you make it until it looks fake. Sometimes you can feel that people are just they're trying so hard that it doesn't look natural, that it's from them. Okay, it looks fake. So try to avoid that. Okay. Especially, okay, when do you see these fake hand gestures? When salespeople, okay, now I'm not offending any salespeople here, all right, but I mean, yeah, it's part of their job. They have to close deals, right? So they want to make the best impression in front of their customers, okay? So they always try to do their best. But then, maybe the new people, the new salespeople, they're not very confident yet, okay? So they try to use a lot of their hand, okay, to make gestures, okay, move a lot of hand movement. So that itself sometimes will put the customer off. All right. So yeah, try to avoid all of this, okay? And then yeah, like what I said, okay, try to practice. Practice will obvious definitely make you a better person, right? Okay, so if you're trying to build a certain positive body language, then practice. Practice will make it perfect. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next slide, please. Okay. Right. Personal space. Okay. Personal space. Now, what is personal space? Personal space is actually, okay, having a little bit of space, physical space. All right, physical space. So when you are, in physically you are meeting someone, okay, then you must make sure that you respect their space. Okay, that means there must be a little bit of gap, okay, between you and them. You can't be too close to them, because being too close to someone, okay, can actually portray a different form of body language, okay? Like if you're with your family member, okay, maybe you're with your spouse or something, and then you're very close to someone, okay, then that's a different thing, okay? Now, there are certain factors, okay, that influence this personal space. Number one, culture, okay? So we are all from different cultures. Certain cultures, they are okay, okay, with being close to another person, but certain cultures, no. All right. And also, it's an individual preference as well. Some people are okay. They are okay when people are nearer to them, but some people may not be very comfortable with that. Okay. Some people are okay when they want to shake their hands with you. Some people are not very comfortable with that. So this is all personal space. Okay. And then also in terms of context, okay, like I said, the setting between two individuals, okay. For example, if you are a colleague, then of course, okay, then you cannot be having a lot of closeness with someone, okay, that will not look right, okay. But if it's a family member, okay, or something, then it's a different thing. All right. So you have to be aware of all of this. This is personal space. Okay. So it varies actually in terms of culture, in terms of an individual preference, okay, and in terms of respect also, and also comfort, okay. Some people are just not comfortable with people being very close to them. Okay, so if you feel, okay, that you're very close to someone, okay, and they are not very comfortable, then you have to be aware of it. All right, you have to be aware of it. Okay, why is this important? Why is giving personal space important? Because it builds trust. Okay, most importantly, it builds trust. When you respect somebody's personal space, okay, it shows that you respect them, okay, and you want to build a trust with them. Okay, it shows you respect and you want to build a trust with them. Okay, so respecting their personal space also allows them to feel that you are safe. Okay, that you are safe, they are safe with you, they are comfortable with you. Okay, so when this happens, that means they are more easy, okay, they are more relaxed when they are around you. Okay, when people feel their personal space is respected, they are more likely to trust you and to engage in a more meaningful communication with you. All right. And it's also a form of non-verbal communication, right? Because when you do not respect somebody's personal space, okay, that itself conveys a certain form of negative non-verbal communication, right? You are not okay, it's like we are not considering their boundaries, okay, and all of that. All right, so it's not really a nice thing to do lah. Okay, so this is actually a very tricky thing. Okay, the safest way to do it is to just give people their personal space. Okay, if you are okay with shaking hands with someone but you don't know, all right, whether they are okay or not, then you just wait. If they give their hands to shake, okay, then it's fine, right? But if they don't, then it's okay, not a problem, right? Okay, it's also being mindful. Okay, being mindful in terms of okay, how to behave around people. Okay, so always maintain an appropriate distance during your conversation. Okay, minimum, okay, have maybe one hand, a hand length apart. When I say hand length, what does that mean? The length of your hand. Okay, that is the minimum that you should have. All right, anything closer, I mean, if the other party is comfortable and you are comfortable, then it's a different thing. Okay, but if they are not, then just maintain the one hand distance. One hand distance is a safe distance. Okay, so how are you going to know whether they feel comfortable, the other person feels comfortable around you or not in terms of personal space? How are you going to detect this? Okay, look at their body language. Look at their facial expression. Okay, if you see like maybe they look very upset, okay, or their hands are folded, okay, and then they don't want to look at you, there is no eye contact, then you already know they are not comfortable, right? Okay, so make the space comfortable for them. Okay, so if they're still okay, if you feel they're smiling, they're talking to you, they seem confident, they have good eye contact with you, the hand gestures are still okay, then all right, okay, you are still in a safe space. Okay, you have given them the comfort zone for them to open up with you. All right, okay. Usually, okay, in a professional setting, meeting or presentations, maintain respectful distance to promote a professional atmosphere. So of course, like I told you, when you are in with a colleague, okay, you have to maintain personal space. Don't stand too close to each other. All right. Sometimes, okay, it's okay for some people, it's just not okay for some people. Okay, social interaction. Now, if somebody is stepping back, maybe they feel that you're too close to them and then they're stepping back, okay, get alert, be alert. Then don't try to go nearer than that. Okay, just maintain where you are, or you also go one step backward. Okay, all of this is actually a form of respect. Okay, so when you build a safe space for them, then they will be happy to talk to you, happy to open up and speak to you, and then your conversation can become better. All right, so all of this can actually affect. Okay, see, it's not just when I want to talk to you, okay, it's not just talking. I think now I've spoken about 1 hour plus already, and then that, see, body language, it actually carries a lot of extra weight, okay, in terms of conveying a certain message to another party. All right? Okay, so now let's move on to the next slide, please. Okay, next slide. Subtly mirror the other person. Now, just now I did tell you what is mirror, right? Mirror basically means, you know, by looking at how the other person is behaving, okay, in terms of body language, you actually know what they are feeling. Okay, you actually know what they are feeling. So it's, and then what you do is mirroring is it's looking at them, okay, understand what they are feeling, and then trying to match that energy. Okay, match that energy. So why do you want to do that? Why do you want to match another person's energy? Okay, or match another person's the emotion level. Why do you want to do that? It's so that, okay, now we're talking about communication, right? It's so that your communication becomes more effective. Okay, when you are at the same length, just when initially, okay, I spoke about eye contact. I said our eye must be at the same, same length, right? Okay, so it's the same way. Emotionally, you have to be at the same wavelength as well. So that is why you mirror another person, okay, and then you understand what is happening, how they are feeling, and then you adjust yourself, how you want to talk to them. Okay, it's actually imitating, okay, a form of imitating the other person's body language, okay, posture, or the way they are speaking. Okay, if they are speaking too slow and you are speaking too fast, then obviously you know that it's going to be an ineffective communication session. Correct or not? Right, because they are a slow paced person and you want to be a fast paced person. Right. So the goal actually, what is the goal? To mirror somebody's body language, to create a connection. Okay, to create a connection. Because if you don't create the connection, whatever that you want to do is a waste. If you want to communicate with someone and you do not have the connection with them, that means there is no empathy. Okay, you don't understand them from their point of view. So what is the purpose of the communication? That means you are just not open yet. Okay, so that is why you need to mirror. Okay, mirror, and then it's basically looking at, okay, now let's take a person who's here, for example. All right, Miss Tran Ti Tiu Hao. Okay, so I'm talking to her. Okay, I'm talking to her, and then I realized that my pace is much faster than hers. Okay, she is a more calm, relaxed person. I'm not. I'm a very maybe I'm just rushing, something like that. So am I matching her emotions and energy or not? I know that she's slow, but I don't do anything about it. No, right? Okay. So that means whatever that I'm going to say, she's probably not going to understand it. And whatever that she is going to tell me, I have also refused to understand it because I didn't match her body language. I didn't mirror enough. Okay, that means there's no connection. There's no connection, there's no empathy, there's no rapport. All right. Now, maybe some of us, right, we may be working in certain lines, okay, that require this mirroring. Okay, what kind of job will that be? Medical line, teaching line, okay, and things like this. Some people, right, when they are dealing with autistic children, okay, so autistic children, okay, one of the main thing is their eye contact. Okay, they cannot have good eye contact with people. Okay, and also their span of concentration is different. Okay, so now we want to do something to make them blend better in our society. Okay, we want them to blend better in our society, so we try to understand them. Okay, but of course we cannot do it just normally, like talking normally to an adult. We have to understand it from their point of view, right? And how? We use mirroring. We have to understand their body language. We have to understand what are they thinking, okay, about us. So that is where mirroring will work. Okay, reflect gestures. their postures, their facial expression, their overall body language, their overall body orientation. Okay, and then also the pattern of their speech, the pace, the tone, and everything, the volume. All right, so all of this will be important. Okay, and also, right, when you actually try to match another person's energy, okay, I will call it energy, all right, because it is a form of energy. When you try to match another person's energy, then you will be more authentic, okay, more genuine, more authentic towards the other person. Okay, that means you will not appear as an insincere person, like just talking or doing for the sake of doing. It's not like that. Okay, it's more of a genuine connection that you will have. All right, I'm not saying mimic. You know what is mimic? Mimic means it's like making fun. It's not making fun. Okay, this is understanding them from their body language. Okay, so you have to observe the other person's body language and then adapt. Okay, be aware of their body language. All right, okay, next slide please. Okay, now we are going to talk about tone, the way the tone that we speak. Use a varied tone of voice to keep the listener engaged and avoid speaking in a monotone. All right, what is a monotone? A monotone is basically a tone that doesn't have any up, doesn't have any down. Okay, that means it's just maintained that way. All right, now I believe, I don't know, maybe you have to give me the feedback later. All right, I believe that my tone has been slightly up, slightly normal, and then it goes a little bit down, slightly normal, something like that. There's a wave. Okay, there's a wave. I feel that way. Okay, maybe later you can drop me a feedback. All right, but um sometimes when people talk, okay, you don't feel there is a tone. Okay, that means it's very monotonous. It's just like a single line like that. Okay, so why must you have a wave? Why must there be a little bit of up? Why must there be a little bit of down? Why must there be a mixture of two? Okay, why? Okay, now monotone usually, all right, monotone doesn't actually show what kind of emotions that the other person has. Okay, doesn't show what emotions. Like if today, okay, now I'm talking, let's say, okay, I want to okay, we will just use this slide as an example. All right, so let me speak in a monotone. Vary your tone. Avoid using a varied tone of voice to keep the listener engaged. Avoid speaking in a monotone. Match your tone to your message. Ensure your tone matches the emotion you want to convey, such as excitement, concern, or sincerity. Okay, so now you see there is a difference. Okay, that is the most monotone that I could go lah. Okay, I think that was monotone, right? Okay, so you see there's no energy. Okay, there's no life in that form of monotone. Okay, it's like a computer talking to you. So there's no energy there. Okay, so that is why you need a varied tone, because through tone, you can actually see the kind of emotion or understand the kind of emotion that the other person is having, or even you are having. If you want to express a certain form of emotion to your audience, how are you going to do it? It's through tone. Okay, so tone doesn't just mean happy, sad, angry. No, okay, tone is they've got a lot of things. Okay, enthusiastic. So just now we started at around 5 p.m., right? So can you imagine if I had just spoken in a form of monotone, okay, like computer speaking, the when we call a customer service, the banks and all of that, then the computer will talk to us in a monotone, right? Okay, so this monotone doesn't have a feeling, right? So it's the same way, the IVR system. So imagine if I had just spoken to you in an IVR system way. No feelings, nothing. So you don't know whether I'm angry, you don't know whether I'm sad, you don't know whether I want to talk to you, or you don't know whether I want you to understand. There is no concern, there is no enthusiasm, there is no empathy, there is no excitement, nothing, right? So this is why you need to vary your tone. Okay, now you don't usually humans are built in such a way, okay, where they know how to express their emotions to tone. Okay, I mean, of course, what if we want to be angry, nobody has taught us we have to raise our voice to show that we are angry, right? Naturally it will just happen, correct? But then when you understand how it works, how tone works, and you can control it, then it's a all new game for you. Okay, because you can control how you want other people to perceive you. That means, okay, you will be a master at hiding your emotions. All right, or you want to show that you are excited, or you want to show that you're positive even though you do not feel that way. Okay, so now you know how tone works, so you know what to do. Okay, and it's not just emotional expression, it also gives a form of clarity. Okay, because certain tones can emphasize that you are clear in what you are speaking. Okay, some people, okay, they cannot manage their tone, so you don't understand what they are speaking. All right, or some people take a long pauses means, okay, you just pause, and then after 15, 20, 30 seconds, then they start talking. Okay, so the tone is not there. That means there is no continuity. All right, so that means there is no clarity there already. Okay, and then if you want to highlight certain important things that we say, all right, usually we will use a higher tone so that people will pay more attention to us. So when we are speaking in a calmer tone, okay, maybe it's calm, okay, no problem, like just normal speech, right? Okay, but suddenly, okay, maybe you want to alert someone, all right? Maybe there's an emergency, for example. Then you want to alert someone, then your tone has to be different, okay? But then usually tone, right, it's a, like I said, it's a natural flow. Okay, it's a natural flow. So as long as you know how to use it, then it will be more engaging, and also you can capture the attention of your audience for them to listen to you in a more active way. Okay, so what are the elements usually of a tone? Number one, pitch. Pitch. You know what is a pitch or not? Pitch. Like high volume and low volume. You know? Of course, this one is more, I mean, I'm not talking about singing, okay, or something like that. But if you're a singer, you will know what is a high pitch and a low pitch. Okay? So you know how to adjust, your voice and make it low pitch, and then suddenly you go, something like that. Don't ask me to sing, yeah, I can't sing. Okay, I'm a very bad singer. Okay, so but again, okay, that is high pitch and low pitch. So you can express your emotions in different pitches. Okay, in high pitch or low pitch. Sometimes, when we do something naughty, then our mothers scream at us, right? That is high pitch. That is really high pitch. Then you know already, oh, something is gone, something is wrong, I better run away. Okay, something like that. All right. Or if you're already married, okay, and then suddenly you hear your husband or your wife, the pitch is a bit higher than normal. Okay, then oh my God, I did something wrong, okay, or something like that. Suddenly you panic. There's a form of panic, right? Okay, so how do you get this panic? Okay, or how do children actually think that they have done something wrong, and then they are scared of their mother? It's because of this pitch through the voice. Okay, through their voice. And then what is the next element of tone? Pace. Fast pace, slow pace. Okay, so usually when people are speaking very fast, that means either they are excited, they are happy, or they are anxious, or they are angry. Okay, but when people are talking in a slower manner, that means the pace. Okay, when the pace is slower, then maybe the emotions are different. Okay, the emotions are more laid back, the emotions are calm. Okay, or even not just all positive. Okay, even negative emotions like disappointed. People who are angry speak in a fast tone. Okay, but people who are disappointed, they speak in a slow pace. Okay, they don't speak in a fast pace. All right. And then volume. Volume is loud. Okay, whether you are loud, whether you're a loud person or whether you are a soft person. Okay, like some people, I think they have built-in microphones in their throat. Okay, so their voice is just so loud. Okay, but some people, they're not like that. They're just naturally soft spoken people. Okay, so all of this, okay, can actually make a difference. Okay, and then rhythm is a rhythmic pattern. That means knowing how to use the combination of pace, of the pitch, of the volume, okay, to express what you want to express to them. Okay, like you have to match it. Okay, you have to match it. So you want to say something serious, then you match a serious tone. If you want to match something happy, then you match it with a happy tone. All right, and of course, coming back to monotone, that means monotone, no feelings. Okay, no feelings. All right, next slide please, Mr. Govind. Okay, active listening. Now, active listening, active listening is very simple. Okay, combining whatever that I have discussed with you just now, okay, regarding body language, eye contact, your tone, okay, and then what else did we speak about? Eye contact, personal space, okay, being natural and all of that, right? Hand gestures, all of this, okay, and also listening. Okay, listening carefully at the same time, that is active listening. Show that you are listening, okay, by nodding, making verbal acknowledgements and paraphrasing what the other person has said. Okay, that means you make sure that you acknowledge the other person. Something as simple, oh, okay, okay, I see, okay, that means something like that. All right. Oh, is it? This kind of things. That means you are showing that you are actually listening to them. But don't be fake, okay? Make sure you really listen and then you give this kind of nod, okay, or making a verbal acknowledgement. Don't just do it for the sake of doing, all right? That is not active listening. Whatever you do in terms of body language, make sure you are genuine, okay? You are genuine, you are sincere, all right? So that is active listening. And also, when another person is speaking, do not interrupt them. Okay, do not interrupt them. Always let the other person speak and finish first. Then you start speaking. Okay, interrupting, number one, is not respect. It's not a very respectful thing to do. That means you are not respecting the other person. Okay, and it's also not professional. Okay, in a professional context, it's not a very nice thing to do. Like if your manager is speaking in a meeting, okay, then don't interrupt. Okay, or not just your manager, even if your staff is speaking, don't interrupt. If it's really 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 necessary to interrupt, then always start with something. Maybe you can just say, excuse me, I'm sorry, but I think I need to interrupt here. Okay, say something like that. All right, so that the other person doesn't feel offended, okay, or they don't feel that you don't respect them or something like that. Okay, I mean, imagine you are talking, okay, you want to pass a message to someone, okay, and then other people keep interrupting you. So that means it's like no respect. Okay, no respect. So don't do that. Okay, always make sure that you if necessary, if I mean, of course, I would say don't interrupt at all. Make sure the other person finish talking and then you speak. But if it's really necessary, okay, excuse yourself first in a proper manner and then speak. All right. Okay, next slide, please, Mr. Govind. Okay. Pace your speech. Speak at a moderate pace to ensure clarity. Too fast can be overwhelming. Too slow can be boring. Okay. So this one actually just now during the tone part, I have explained. Okay. Pacing your speech is very important. You cannot go too fast. Maybe not all your audience will be able to capture what you are saying. All right. If you go too fast. If you go too slow, then it's not good as well. Okay, why? Because they might feel that you are very boring. Okay, maybe they will lose concentration. They will lose concentration, and then it's like not worth it because they didn't absorb what you are saying. Okay, so make sure you arrange your pace in a proper manner. Okay, always have a moderate pace, so then you will be able to engage all your audience. Okay, and also when you speak at a moderate pace, right? Okay, that means you have the right balance to keep most of your listeners engaged throughout your speech or presentation. Okay, now later after this talk is over, you let me know. Okay, give me a feedback. Let me know whether I have given you, how did I speak? Did I go too fast or did I go too slow? All right, so that maybe in the future I can do something about my pace of speech, whether I'm too fast or I'm too slow. Okay, all right. And then varying your pace can emphasize, okay, important points or whatever that you want to capture. Okay, the interest that you want to capture as well. So that means, when you're going at a certain pace and then suddenly you want to capture somebody's attention, okay, then you can change your pace, your pace of speech. Okay. Now, how do you do this pace of speech effectively? Okay, your vocal control must be good. Your vocal control is basically practicing in terms of breathing. Okay, and then also being clear. Okay, being clear as well. Why is breathing important? Okay, now actually yes. Okay, maybe if you haven't spoken for like 3 to 4 hours continuously, okay, maybe you will not know. But when you speak very often, okay, and you speak for long hours, and you speak not just normal talk, okay, like you are speaking in terms of like for work purpose, or like teaching, for example, okay, then you have to speak a lot, right? And then you have to focus on certain topics and everything. So when you're breathing, okay, when your breathing is not in control, when I say control, that means you actually those who are teaching, those who speak a lot, okay, speak a lot, they will understand. Your breathing pace must be at a very comfortable pace. Only then your speech pace will also be normal. Okay, it's moderate. Okay, not too fast, not too slow. When your breathing is too slow, okay, then your pace will also reduce. The same way, when you breathe too fast, then you will go too fast as well. Okay, so actually this is how you control your pace, by controlling your breathing. Okay, and okay, you must use pauses. That's very important. Okay, pauses mean every now and then there must be little pause, maybe a 2 second or a 3 second pause. So why is this pause important? Okay, if you go and see people who speak, okay, and then people who are very motivating, people that we can really engage with their speech, there is always a certain number of pauses. They always stop. After some time, they speak something and then they stop. Okay, they stop and then they will look at you. They will look at you maybe 10 seconds. Okay, let's try it now. Okay, you pause and then you look. Okay, so why do they have this pause? They will usually pause for about 10 seconds lah. Okay, 7 to 10 seconds. Why do they do it? Is because when they have this pause, whatever that they have spoken all this while, okay, will form of digest, okay, emotionally digest in the brain of the person that they have been speaking to. Okay, compared to not having a pause at all, keep on talking. No, that is not really effective. And also, okay, it also actually shows that the other person is very confident in what they are saying. People who are not confident, they don't really give you the pause. I mean, like forgetting what to speak and then having a pause is a different thing. Okay, when politicians speak, they always have this pause, the confident pause. All right. So why do they have this confident pause? Is so that it is to show that they are very confident and they are very, they know what they are talking and they want to influence you, okay, with what they have said. So that is why they use the pause. Emphasizing points. All right. Okay, Mr. Govind, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so being clear and concise. Now, don't try not to talk too much of unnecessary things, okay, when you are speaking, okay, in terms of body language and all of that, all right? Avoid unnecessary jargon or long-winded explanations. Get to the point while ensuring all necessary information is conveyed. Now, you don't have to go through point form, no, okay, but make sure that you do not go out of topic as well. But this is not really body language, this is already communication, speech, okay, speech. Don't go out of topic. Don't talk too much until you go out of topic. All right, always, okay, when you have this is my personal tip lah, okay, what I've learned. When we have something, okay, that we want to explain in point form, like for example this slide, point form, all right, how do you prepare for this? Especially when you're a beginner, how do you prepare for this? So I started off, now I'm a bit different, okay, but I always started off as with every point, okay, that I want to talk about, I will have 3 sentences. Okay, that means, for example, we have point number 1 here. Be clear and concise, right? So then I will have 3 sentences ready to explain this particular point. Okay, at maximum 4 sentences. So why do I do that? Or why not just 1 sentence? 1 sentence, people don't really understand what you want to convey to them. Okay, more than 4, I notice that we talk too much. Okay, we go out of topic, we talk too much. So it's unnecessary. So I find that 3 is a very comfortable number. Okay, maybe you can try it for yourself as well. If you want to, if you want to present and everything, and you are not really a professional at it yet, then maybe you can try this. Okay, try 3 sentences to explain 1 point. Of course, sometimes you can go more than that, okay? And as you practice, okay, then maybe you will need to explain more than that. So then that's fine. But just make sure that, when you are explaining A, you just stick at A and you don't go to B, C, and D. All right? Okay. And also, okay, now the next one, ask for feedback. Confirm understanding by asking if the other person has any questions or need clarification. Okay. In terms of customer service, especially, this is very important. Okay. Customer service. Why? Why do you ask for feedback? When I say feedback, right, it's not just it's not asking how did you do, okay, or how did I do. No, it's not that. Confirming what the other person has said, that kind of feedback. Okay. For example, when you call a bank, okay, you're calling a bank and then you let them know, hi, good morning. My name is Kriya. My online banking has been blocked. I can't really log in. Okay, so you tell the customer service. So what they will do is they will reply me, hi, Ms. Kriya. Thank you for calling us. So let me clarify again. You are saying that your online banking system has been blocked and you cannot log in. Am I right? Okay, so that kind of feedback, confirming. Of course, you don't have to do this all the time in every speech, but as I mentioned, in customer service, this is very important. Why? It's because you need to address the customer's issues correctly. Okay, address the customer's issue correctly. So when you do not understand, or maybe the customer is trying to convey a different information, but the way they told it to you is wrong. Okay, so that is why you have to clarify with them. Okay, and always, okay, it's not just that. Okay, always you have to ask for if they understand or if they need further clarification. This is very, 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 very important. Okay, this is one way of knowing whether they understood what you have informed them or not. All right, so getting feedback. All right. Okay, let's move on to the next slide, please. Okay, adapt to your audience. Adapt to your audience means understand who your target audience are. If they are adults, then you talk to them like talking to adults. If they are kids, then you talk to them like you're talking to kids. Okay? If you have a specific stream of people, okay, maybe okay, they are students, then you speak to them differently. They are younger adults or they are elder adults, then you know how to use your body language and your communication to best interact with them. Okay, so this is very important. Tailor your communication style to fit your audience. Example, a professional setting may require more formal language, while a casual setting can be more relaxed. So maybe this BizTalk, I would say, is a casual setting. It's not very formal. It's not very informal as well. Okay, so it's a very casual setting. Okay, so I paste it in a casual way. But what if, okay, this is a totally different professional business talk? Then maybe the method used here might be different. Okay. Or what if I'm speaking to school students? Then of course, maybe, I can slot in a fun activity or, or two activities so that, I can capture my audience better. So that is adapting to your audience, tailor according to their needs. Of course, I can't speak to small children. Maybe, I'm speaking to really small children, like 9 years old, 8 years old. I cannot speak to them like speaking to adults, right? So that is where I have to adapt to my audience. And the same way, okay, not just in terms of talking, body language, eye contact as well. When you're speaking with adults, okay, you will expect different body language, different eye contact, different hand gestures, different postures, okay, and everything. But when I'm speaking to much younger people, of course, their concentration is not like adults, right? So their body language, their eye contact will be different. If they have kids around them, right? Children, a group of children, they will want to play with each other more than listening to you. So that is where I have to know how to adapt to my audience. Okay? All right. Okay, so yes, we have come to the end of today's BizTalk session, okay, about body language and communication. All right, so Mr. Govind, okay, you can stop playing the slides now. Now, okay, so question time. It's going to be 7 p.m., all right? So let's start our question and answer session now. So do let me know, okay, how has this session been for you? And if you have any questions, we can discuss now as well, all right? So yeah, you can shoot all your questions in the chat box and I will be more than happy to answer you, all right? Anything that you would like to ask about body language, communication, adapting your tone, okay? Is there anything that you would like to clarify with me? regarding body language? No questions. You're a very good trainer. Thank you very much, Catherine. Thank you so much for your feedback. Okay, now that is a feedback. Okay, it's not really a question, but it's a feedback, all right? And thank you. Thank you for the positive feedback. You can still ask me other questions though, all right? It was very clear. Thank you. Oh, my contact. Okay, okay. I'm getting, just give me a moment. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I'm working outside. You're such a good speaker. Thank you, Miss Christine. Thank you. Okay, so we have a question here. Hi, ma'am. I just want to double clarify about body language just to clear. Yes, what is your question, Pearl? You can ask me about body language. No question. Thank you so much for all the positive feedbacks, dear ladies and gentlemen. You're all very kind to me. Thank you. I have a question. What to do if you are nervous speaking publicly? Okay, very good question, Diana. Now, I used to give a lot of public speeches last time, okay? And initially when I started off, I was very, very, very nervous, let me tell you. So how did I manage to cope, okay? Okay, there are, let me tell you that of course, okay, with time and with practice, your nervousness will go off, all right? It won't 100% go off, yeah? Even if you're really, really experienced and really, really, really trained, there is still a little bit of nervousness every time you speak to public, okay? Because we are programmed that way. Humans are that way, okay? But what I used to do is, okay, number one, don't show people that you are nervous, okay? So of course, when you are beginning, you have to prepare yourself really, really well. Understand the topic that you are going to talk about, okay? Whatever that you're going to talk about. And then you have to time yourself very well. If they have given you 15 minutes and then you have 10 points to talk about, you have to spread it out equally and then you prepare. Preparation is the most important thing. Okay, it will actually take away 20% of your nervousness. I won't say 50%, 20%. All right, 20%. Number two, okay, when you go up to the stage, okay, and then you see people, I don't know how many of you all experience this, but then you will feel your heart sinking. You feel your heart sinking. So how do you come over it? You have to be very confident, okay? Build that confidence. If you see people and then you are afraid that you might make a blunder, initially when you are speaking, you don't have to look directly at people, okay? What you do is, of course, you must project that you are looking at them, right? But then they mustn't know, right? So what you do, you focus on the last row. You focus on the last row of people. Why do I say focus on the last row of people? You won't really see them very clearly, okay? And then there's always a wall behind them, okay? There's a wall behind them. So whenever you are nervous, just focus on the wall. Little bit, okay, a little bit. But of course, okay, you have to look at the people every now and then, okay? So pace it properly. You have to practice, okay? Practice. And then if you do it 2 or 3 times, right, then eventually you will get better. But prepare, okay? Another thing is your hands. Usually when you're very nervous, right, your hands will shake, will shiver, okay? So hold something in your hand. If you're holding a microphone in one hand, and you don't have notes, for example, hold a pen in another hand. Just hold a pen, a simple pen will do. Okay, or if you have a notepad, hold the notepad in your hand. By gripping something, okay, it actually gives you a form of confidence. Okay, it's like holding somebody's hand like that. So there is a lot of confidence. All right, so yeah, you can try that. Okay, and I hope, Diana, you become a really good public speaker. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Moderate tone of voice, very clear. Okay, thank you, thank you. Not relating to today's topic. Do you train people to be able to run their own business? Okay. Now, in terms of our personally, no, I don't. But in certain BizTalk topics, okay, and other series that we run, we do have talks about business, how to run business, how to start business, okay, and how to start as an entrepreneur. All right. So do look out for our biz for our sorry for our other BizTalk sessions, upcoming BizTalk sessions. If the topics may interest you in terms of starting your own business. Okay. Thanks again, everyone. I have a question. So can I improve my future? Okay. Kuntasu, of course you can. In what terms would you like to improve your future? There are so many things that you can do to improve your future. Maybe, you can start speaking well, okay, and learning on your body language as a beginning. All right. Miss, can we ask a copy of our lecture today to study again during exam period case? There's no exam out of this talk, guys. Okay, so don't worry much about it. Okay, I'm not going to set questions and ask you about body language. Okay. I learned a lot because I am a shy type person, can't really express my feelings, and some people really misinterpret that. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, Abigail, thank you very much. I hope it has been a very informational session and you can learn from this. All right. Now, let me tell you that I myself, okay, I was a very reserved person, okay, a few years back until I decided that I have to do something. Okay. And then I came out of my comfort zone. And then that is where, I learned how to speak to people and, how to do public speaking and everything. And yes, I totally understand when you say people misinterpret you because what you feel is a totally different thing. What you feel is different, but other people may look at us, okay, I mean, in a different way. Maybe they feel that we are arrogant, okay, or we are snobby or things like that, when we are actually not. Okay, and all of this is because of body language, okay, body language and communication. You can't blame them because that is what our body language has actually projected. All right. When are we having this next training? Okay, for the next BizTalk, I believe that the link will be sent to you again, okay, in your respective groups and everything, okay? But usually, yes, it'll be Saturday evenings, 5 to 7 p.m., same timing, all right? Okay, even on Zoom meetings, like in class, when I like to participate and when I raise my hand, but then when I am unmuted and have the chance to speak, sometimes I black out or all of a sudden I feel shy. Any tips on what to do? Okay, Noella, good question. Now, don't be afraid, especially when you are in class. Let me tell you why. All the students there, Noella, are there to learn. They are all your classmates, they are all your friends, and let me tell you, your teachers will always be very supportive when you want to learn. Okay, so you may feel shy, but come out of it, speak. Don't be afraid. Your friends are also there to learn with you. Nobody is a professional, okay, that, nobody knows so much, okay, for them to put you down. All right. So everybody has got their strength and their weakness. Don't be shy. Only when you want to do it, okay, then you will be able to come out of it. Okay, Noella? Hi, ma'am, do you have any techniques when it comes to public speaking? I think this one I just only told just now, right? So you follow that tip, okay? That is how I started. But as time went on, then my eye contact, okay, from the last row eventually came to the middle row and then to the front row. You will become more and more confident the more and more you go and stand in stage. Trust me on that, okay? So take the opportunity and don't be afraid, okay? If you do something wrong, if you're afraid, if you're afraid to do a blunder, don't be afraid, because only when you do the blunder, you will learn from that. Okay, nobody is a professional when they start off. Okay, so don't be afraid. So working as a volunteer counselor, okay, today lesson. Thank you so much, Aljen De La Cruz. Thank you. How to connect to people while you are explaining. Okay, I don't really understand this question, Alfredo. Maybe you want to rephrase it? Okay, it's okay, Pauline, no problem. As long as you have listened to me, okay? How to be a good communicator. Okay, use the skills, use these tips that I've given you in terms of body language, your tone, your pace, and then if you think your language skills are weak, build your language skills, okay? Okay, for those of you who wanted the PDF, all right, our Mr. Govind has shared the PDF file in the chat box, so you can download it from there, okay? So you can have a copy of it. Can I meet you in Malaysia? Yes, of course you can. Okay, so thank you so much. I believe no more than questions. Okay, I've only received more feedback. So yeah, I'm happy for that. Okay, so all right, it's already 7 p.m. So I believe we can end this session here. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, thank you again for joining me on this Saturday. I hope it has been a very knowledgeable and informational session for you. Okay, so if you still have questions, okay, I can drop my number. Just give me a moment. Or maybe my email will be better because I'm not really a WhatsApp person. Okay, just give me a moment. Gmail.com. Okay, so this is my wait everyone. Okay. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can drop me an email. Okay, I will reply all of you. Okay, so that's it. Thank you again for joining me. Okay, have a good weekend, everyone, and thanks. Okay, bye bye.